Welcome everyone. For this week's discussion, I decided to focus on PowerPoint presentations as a mode to instruct large bodies of students. So I read the journal article, Effectiveness of PowerPoint Presentations in Lectures. And the purpose of the study was to look at student satisfaction of PowerPoint presentations, and they looked at different types of PowerPoint presentations, such as basic PowerPoints versus extended PowerPoints and transparencies. They wanted to compare text presentations versus presentations that included text, pictures, and sound, the academic success associated with the presentations, and the instructor's effort needed to create PowerPoint presentations. In other words, was it worth the time to create the presentations based on the outcome? So it looked at, like I said, transparencies, basic PowerPoints, and versus expanded PowerPoints. And what they found after studying university students is that students actually liked PowerPoint presentations better than normal lecture styles or just transparencies. They did prefer presentations with text, pictures, and sound, as long as the pictures and sound were relevant to the content. Academically, quiz grades were 10% worse in expanded PowerPoints. It was likely due to the text or sound not being present or not being relevant to the actual content, which actually hindered their academic performance. And it took instructors 50% more time to prepare expanded PowerPoints. So the study also kind of based its information off of Mayer's cognitive theory of multimedia, which looks at the relevance of words. So if words are relevant, it goes into the person's auditory working memory, and if pictures are relevant, they store it in their visual working memory. And the point of having relevance to words and pictures is that people will integrate the representations with their prior knowledge. So in other words, relevance is key. If the pictures and the sounds, and the text are not relevant to the content, the student could get confused or get distracted from learning. So I just want to give an example of a non-relevant picture. According to the study and to Mayer's theory, even though this picture tends to go along with what they're talking about here, it's not really necessary to understand the textual content of the slide. And here's a relevant picture, and I like this one because it talks about helping you stand out, and the apples actually kind of link what standing out should be. So overall, I do think PowerPoints allow teachers to discuss content while focusing on the main points. It's also visually good for students with disabilities, so they can highlight the main points. Relevance and making PowerPoints is worth the time, and it can aid to understanding, especially for content that's kind of complicated. Pictures and sound definitely help understanding as long as it's relevant. Animations, personally, I don't like animations. I don't think they're necessary unless you want to hide something and bring it back up. Make it real simple as opposed to like flying in and doing a spiral. Animation should just kind of simply show up. Shouldn't take away from the presentation. And backup plans. Backup plans are really important. There's been multiple times in my own experience when technology has failed and I learned the hard way the first time and I didn't have anything to supplement it with. So it's always important to either print out the slides and hand it out to your students. It also can serve as a good aid, like guided notes style, so learners can kind of follow along with the paper in front of them. As a learner myself, I know that I don't prefer screen reading over paper, so I usually print out paper. So that could be another aid for your students. So overall, I do think PowerPoints are useful as long as they are designed the right way, as to not taking away from the content that you want the student to learn. Thank you.